Hi, I'm Keith McEvoy, CEO of Success That Works and founder of SuperCharge Academy. Today what we're going to do is, I know it's New Year's and everything, so what I want to do is make sure that you realize how important it is about New Year's resolutions and what it is that you need to do to make sure that you're able to go and take these New Year's resolutions and go and make them happen. Because the problem is that, yes, just 8% of people actually stick to their New Year's resolution. And that's scientific research. And I know you're not surprised with that, because if you're like me, you start off at the beginning of the year, great intentions. I normally last at about March, and then in March things get difficult and I make excuses as to why I can't do those press-ups every morning, or run on the beach, or on the business side is I'll decide that wasn't as important as I thought it was. Maybe I hit a problem that really, it was too much for me, and I saw another bit of shiny paper and I went off there. So if you're like me, well then you need to pay attention to this, because there's actually two things that you can do to improve this 8% to like 70, 80%. Much more likely that you're going to go and achieve that New Year's resolution. But here's the thing. The problem with New Year's resolutions and why we can't keep New Year's resolutions is the exact same two problems that stop us from achieving our goals and following through on everything else in life as well. And if you're in corporate world, you will know that 60 to 70% of all these corporate initiatives don't meet their objectives. Same two reasons. You'll know that when you set out with your goals for the year, or your goals just in general, that you don't always get there. In fact, typically you'll fail half the time. Again, these are the two things I'm going to show you. So what happens when we decide to go and do something? So me being fit, I wanted to go and improve my VO max. And VO max, by the way, is how efficiently you use oxygen. And it's a very quick and simple way of figuring out how fit you are. So my VO max, I think, is 45, 46, which isn't bad, but I wanted to get it down to a much better figure. So this is what I was looking to do. This is typical of anything you start doing. You start off, a little improvement, little improvement, little improvement, and then wow, things improve dramatically. So this is success, and this is time. Yeah. And this is true for practically anything you do. When you start off, it's difficult sometimes to change routines, to get up early in the morning, to stay up late at night, to whatever it is. It's difficult to do because you've got to break those old habits and establish new habits. So this is the danger period one. So whatever you decide you're going to do for your New Year's resolution, if that's giving up smoking, eating better, being more fulfilled at work, whatever it is, before you start, you need to figure out a plan for this. Okay? So what is your plan when you start getting fed up because you're not seeing progress? What's your plan to just keep you going? What are you going to do day in, day out, week in, week out for those first few weeks to make sure that you stay at it, that you don't just give up because you're not seeing progress? Because typically you won't see progress. My VO2 max, I didn't see much progress. All I had was burning pain in my lungs every time I went out there, and I felt silly running. And yeah, I had to find a way to keep going through it. You've got to find that too. Now the second problem is the one, so that's problem one, yeah. Find out how you're going to stick with it. The second problem is the one that most people don't realize they're going to hit. And that's up here, right? Why on earth would you have a problem when, just like me, my VO2 max started improving really well, but I hit a problem here and I stopped going out running. And do you know what the problem was? All I did was I just didn't go for 2 days, and then I got used to not going. So I stopped. And what actually happened was I plateaued, I stopped. And that is going to happen to you. You're going to hit a problem that whatever it is, if you're smoking, you're going to, one night out at the bar, you're going to have a smoke, right? If you are trying to do a new diet or lose weight, one day you're not going to follow your diet, okay? That is going to happen. You need to have a plan for this, because if you don't have a plan, here's what happens. So with me, well, okay, I can miss a day or two running, right? But what happens if I miss a week? and that becomes 2 weeks. This is what happens, right? Go all the way back down to where I was here. And if I want to get back up there, I've got to go through this slog again and all of this again. I've got to spend, whatever that time was, the month or two, I've got to go and re-spend that just to get back to where I was, right? You don't want that happening to you. You know there's going to be problems. You know you're going to fall off the wagon, right? So plan now that when this happens, how are you going to make sure that what happens is that, yeah, okay, you hit the wagon, but you start again. You start going, you hit that roadblock and you push through. Okay, so 2 really important things to decide right now, even before you start that New Year's resolution. How are you going to keep going every single day until you start seeing progress? And then when you are seeing progress, how are you going to make sure that when you hit that roadblock or roadblocks, that you've got a plan to get around them and keep going? Hope that really serves you, and let's go and make sure that this year you earn your worth.